as a veterinarian, in the agriculture world, putting it all together, becoming a naturopathic physician after teaching nutrition at the naturopathic college level is paying off. You're an amazing mentor, Dr. Wallach. So I know that you have some great information to share with us, but before you do, I want to remind everybody that this program is meant for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, and our products are not meant to diagnose, prevent, cure any diseases. But folks, when you give your body what it really needs, what it's starving for, it can do some amazing things. So it is with an honor to present to you the very young at 84, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Okay, well, thank you, Becca, and thank you, team. It was a great week. It was George Noorey's Contact in the Desert. And I'm doing George Noorey again tonight from 10 p.m. Pacific time to midnight for 2 hours. It'll be, I'll give a little talk and then I'll answer questions for 2 hours. And this started because as a pathologist, I'm seeing all this stuff on the autopsy table. Okay, I'm seeing where the medical system missed it so badly. And it's because they didn't get taught these things in school. And so I began to write papers, and that's how I got into this stream, was writing papers. I think I've probably written more papers than any other pathologist. My thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. I'm very proud of that. It represents 20,000 autopsies, and it's in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. We actually had 2 people bring copies of that book. Okay, it's in the Smithsonian Institute, and have me sign it. And one of them was brand new. They just opened the box there that they had gotten from the purchase of it. They sell for $25,000 to $35,000 each, depending on what state or country you're in. Okay, and she opened the box and tore the paper wrapper off the book, and I signed it. Okay, to her, and she's a medical person. Okay, and so very, very excited that they were that interested to move forward. Now, this all started with a book and a CD set called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, and I don't have anything against medical doctors personally, okay, but they don't get taught the whole spectrum. They don't get taught the whole picture. And so a lot of times when they don't know something, they'll just make something up. A lot of times they're happy with just relieving symptoms, and they know the person's going to die in 2 years following their procedures, but the patient's happy because their pain is gone. Okay, so that's why we came up with this title. There's a CD by the same title, and the CD's in 9 languages. Okay, it's all over the world. And then there is a summary of this book that's in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. This sells for only $25, not $25,000 like the original.
I got the book, Doc.
Okay, thank you. And epigenetics is, I'm one of the founders of the science of epigenetics, which has replaced genetics. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. That for me is the biggest news, that there are no genetically transmitted diseases. So if you have 5 people in your family with diabetes, you don't have to have diabetes. You don't have to continue with that disease. Diabetes is one of the easiest diseases to get rid of. Type 2 diabetes makes up 98% of the diabetic population. Type 1 diabetes is correctly diagnosed in babies born with diabetes, but if their mothers are taking the 90 essential nutrients, there'll never be another baby born with type 1 diabetes. Okay, it's a simple nutritional deficiency disease, not genetic. And so these are all the things that are in this book, Epigenetics. That's me on the front cover there with a picture of a monkey from Yerkes Primate Center, where I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a monkey. And when I proved it to them by getting recognition from pathologists in medical schools around the world, okay, I didn't tell them it was from a monkey. I just said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they all wrote back in their letterhead, yeah, this is classic cystic fibrosis. And I told them it was from a monkey, and I can give them as many laboratory animals as they wanted. They fired me because, well, you must be sniffing glue because everybody knows this is genetic. You can't say it's not genetic. So I said, well, can you give me a couple of months and I'll prove it to you? No. I said, I can make as many baby monkeys as you want with cystic fibrosis so we can study it. no, you're fired. Okay. And then jumping ahead, Jonathan Emord, one of our great attorneys, okay, he and I sued the FDA 8 times in federal court, and to be able to put these nutrients into the baby formulas. There you go, with the Wallach revolution. And you'll notice the foreword is by Pat Boone. The last chapter is written by Danny Glover, because they're telling their personal stories, how he helped them. Great, great, great people. And so we put some of our great discoveries over the last 75 years in this book, The Wallach Revolution. And Becca and I have been working hard on a new project. It's called 90 for Life Crusade to Save the World. Now this crusade, okay, I'm going to show this crusade up here, Becca. Okay, do you have one or?
No, you have the only print
Ah,
doc.
okay. This right now it's 67 pages. It'll wind up being with all the references and this, that, and the other, and the covers. It's going to be about 70, 75 pages, something like that. Okay, but it tells a story of about a dozen famous people, okay, who had terrible, terrible diseases. Their life was ending, their careers were ending. And we're talking about athletes and movie actors, and we're talking about politicians, we're talking about pastors, and it's legends. These people are all legends in their time, and we were able to, with nutrition, save them and bring them back to do the wonderful things they do for humanity. Well, we want these stories out there, not me telling the stories 3 times a month around the world. Okay, we want 10,000 lectures a day, and we're providing a platform here in the form of a, what do you call it, a flip chart?
Yeah, so we're working on a flip chart that is compliant, because Dr. Wallach, you can say things that we cannot say. So we want to make sure that the flip chart that we give and the program that is given is compliant based on
Well,
DSA.
in the introduction, we'll say that these things are said by Dr. Joel Wallach. Okay, and that way it covers it. Okay, we can say that in the introduction. Okay, and also we're going to have something that goes in your computer, a what?
A digital download.
Digital download.
Full presentation.
Which you can hook up to a TV in a house, or you can hook up to a projector in an auditorium, okay, or another projector that goes into space. We want this out everywhere, 10,000 times a day, okay? And the quality of the pictures of these famous people, and many of them are with them, because we spent months and years together with these folks. Some of them are still with us, okay? And so be looking for this. We have to get it by our lawyers and all this kind of stuff. So we're looking, at a couple of weeks or a couple of months or something like that. Okay, but it's going to be as quickly as we can. And so start thinking about it. Whether you're a Youngevity associate or not, we do have the health coaches, which Rebecca is part of the main organization and the teaching courses and everything like that with the health coaches. We have 1,000, right? About right, 1,000 health coaches right now.
There's just about 1,000. They've graduated from the course as certified holistic health coaches. And if people want more information about that or want to join us as a coach, you can go to coachwithbecca.com and get more information.
Okay, well, within a few years, I want to have 1 million health coaches.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, I want 1 million health coaches. That's my goal. Get 1 million health coaches so that we can add 25 to 50 health years to everybody's life. Very high quality. We know the answers. It's just a matter of getting the information to people and making it it's affordable. It's very economical. It's not like it's expensive. The only thing is insurance doesn't pay for it yet. But I guarantee you, once we get this flip chart and this thing that goes on the computer, the digital download, did I say it right?
That's it. Digital download, a presentation.
Okay, presentation. Once we get those things approved, okay, by our lawyers, guess what? We're going to be speaking to medical organizations, pharmaceutical organizations, pastors, as many people as we can all over the world. And this is going to be a new thing. But you notice this word, crusade, okay? Crusade. Crusade of course, people know about the Crusades during the Bible days. And the Bible Crusades, the biblical Crusades, lasted 967 years. This is Europe sending armies, literally sending armies to the Middle East so that they could protect the pilgrims going to the Holy Lands, because some of the bad guys were killing the pilgrims and preventing the pilgrims from getting into the Holy Lands, okay, seeing where Christ was crucified. And so the Europeans and people of other countries sent armies to protect the pilgrims in the Holy Lands. And so now it's time for another crusade. We are having a crusade to save humanity from all these simple diseases that are just simple nutritional deficiencies, easily prevented, easily reversed. And, for instance, doctors don't know, they don't get taught that you get osteoporosis of the skull. They think you only get osteoporosis of your vertebrae and your bones in your legs and your arms. They don't know that you get osteoporosis of the skull. And I'm seeing this on the autopsy table, right? I'm seeing things that they saw, but they misinterpreted the cause. There you go. There you go. Okay. And it's one of those things where there's 37 different diseases. Now, when we reprint this, I'm going to have to add some. There's probably 50 diseases now that I've identified that are all due to osteoporosis of the skull. Everything from getting up too many times at night to urinate. It's not a prostate problem in men. It's not a prostate problem in women, because women don't have prostate glands, but it's not a prostate problem in men either when you get up 10 times at night to urinate. It's due to osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the spinal cord. And your spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. And then you lose your vision. You lose your hearing. You get dizzy. I have one of our producers in one of my radio programs. His wife keeps falling. Okay, well, she needs a walker now because she keeps falling and breaking her leg and all this kind of stuff. But, she's, being very feminine and doesn't want to have a walker and all this kind of stuff. Well, she's fallen like 3 times that I know and had fractures in her legs. Well, you need to get her a walker, but you also need to get her on the program to rebuild the skull and take the pressure off all those cranial nerves in the spinal cord, and all these things will go away. Okay, so we're very, very proud of this. This book is only like 130 pages or something like that, and it will add healthful years to your life like you can't believe. And the picture on the back of the book, is me receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Okay, I'm very, very proud of that. The Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations for all the wonderful things we've been able to do with nutrition, okay, and herbs, as opposed to costly pharmaceuticals. And again, most of the pharmaceuticals do not cure the disease, they relieve symptoms, which in of itself is not a bad thing. We don't want people to be in pain, but the medical system is satisfied to relieve the symptoms so that people keep coming back for that drug or whatever it is, okay? But if you can get rid of that disease in 3 weeks or 6 weeks or a month or 2 months or 3 months, I always say, give me 90 days. If you can get rid of that disease in 90 days with a nutritional program and you stay on those nutrients, they'll never come back. Do you just put oil in your car when you first buy it and never put oil in it again? You're checking that oil all the time. You want to make sure it's at the right level. Same way with the coolant in your radiator. Same way with your brake fluid. Same way with the fluid in your
So you got the brake fluid, you got the power steering fluid, you've got the transmission fluid, you've got the oil, you've got the gas.
There you go. You got it. It's one of those things where you take care of your car better than you take care of yourself. So if you use that same thought process, how you're maintaining your car to maximize the mileage and comfort and usefulness of your car and your truck and so forth, your motorcycle or whatever it is, the same thing you do for your body, you can add 25 to 50 health years to your life. The life expectancy in the Western Hemisphere is not very high, okay, in the industrialized nations. The record is Jean Calment from France, 122 years and 164 days, 1997, she died. Jean Calment from France. The Philippines is 71. USA, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, is 73 to 75. Australia is very good, 82.9. New Zealand is 82.3. Japan is 84.7. Of the industrialized nations, the Japanese are the longest lived people. Okay, Canada is 84. China is 76. China has 2 communities, one in the north, which they eat nothing but wheat, brought around oats, and they live to be 71. In the south, In China, they live on rice and sweet potatoes and seaweed. They live to be 76. Okay. These are clues. Russia only lives to be 72. South Africa lives to be 63. Kenya and East Africa lives to be 59. Mexico lives to be 77. Okay. And so Egypt lives to be 71. I'm trying to think here. Okay, I think I got most of them that I wanted to mention. I think so. Okay, so you get in the Hunzas again, the Hunzas, which are not in the industrialized nation, the Hunzas, their life expectancy is 120, and many live to be 130 and 140 and 150. And so there's no reason why we can't get there, but you have to avoid the bad stuff, and then you have to supplement to guarantee that you're going to get everything you need. Doctors give out misinformation when they say, eat well, you get everything you need. That is not even close to the truth. You cannot eat well and get what you need. No, you can spend $200 on a meal in a restaurant, and a 5-star restaurant, spend $200, and you will not be getting everything you need. Okay, because plants only need 3 elements from the soil. We need 60. We need 60 elements from the soil. Plants do not make minerals. I'll say that again. Plants do not make minerals. Plants make vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids. So if your carrots were grown in a place that have only 3 minerals in the soil, okay, because plants only need 3, and nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins, and so like gold and silver. So if you're getting a carrot with only 3 minerals in it, where are you going to get the other 57 minerals? No, you have to supplement. You have to take it. You don't just put dirt from Texas in your car and say that's going to take care of everything. No. This is not difficult. So again, watch for this because it's coming out soon. We're very excited about it. We got like 90% done here, and we're putting in the last pieces. And as soon as the attorneys give us approval or tell us what we need to add to this or subtract, this will be out there. And guess what? We are going to save the world. Okay. This is going to be the crusade to save the world, save humanity. Okay. So with that said, do you want me to keep talking, Becca, or do you have some callers or some questions?
Dr. Wallach, we have people with their hands up, both in YouTube and here in Zoom. And we also have questions coming in from the emails from using that contact option on our website. So let's go ahead and get started. And folks, if you're here live with us in the Zoom and you would like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, make sure that you go to that Zoom menu and click raise hand. You might have to look under reactions in order to find that, but we want to make sure that we get to as many people's questions as possible with giving quality, not always quantity, when we're going through this. So if you have a question, get your hand raised early so that we can get to it. But the first question, Dr. Wallach, is it's coming from YouTube, and the question is, what's the region in Italy where they are living well into their hundreds? And you and I were talking about this morning. There's different areas where that glacial milk runs through off the mountains into the different valleys. So it's not, so much, okay, it's this region or this region, but let's look where the water is running off of those mountains.
Okay.
And
let's stop there for a second because we want to go back a couple of thousand years, okay, 3,000 years. In the Old Testament, they talked about the land flowing with milk and honey. Here in the United States in modern times, in the last 200 years, they talked about bottomland. Bottomland is the land flowing with milk and honey, okay? In the Old Bible, the Old Testament, the land flowing with milk and honey is referred to 21 times. The story is told 21 times in the Old Bible. You cannot say that didn't exist if it appears 21 times in the Old Bible. Now, they didn't know all the biochemistry and all the chemistry involved there, but they knew there was something about those locations where everybody lived a long time, okay? And all of the various people who went out there and spent their lives telling the story of God Okay. Many of them, like Adam lived to be 930, and Noah lived to be 950, and Methuselah lived to be 969, and many of these other preachers and pastors lived to be 600, 700, 400. And they all came from, according to the Old Testament, they all came from the land flowing with milk and honey. Was it cow's milk? Was it goat's milk? Was it camel milk? No, it was glacial milk. We have another book, which we spent a lot of time in chapter 10 in the book, Rare Earth Spin Cures. It's now become a textbook and okay, for pre-med students. And I can't give out the name of the university yet. It'll be another week or two or something like that. I'll be able to give out the name of the university. But Rare Earth Spin Cures, chapter 10, is entitled Glacial Milk. That is the milk flowing from the mountains down into the valleys that was described in the old Bible, the land flowing with milk and honey, where people live long and healthily, because they're getting all these minerals. And this is what we based our program on. Okay, we based our program on these plant minerals, okay, that come from the mountains. And in chapter 10, you'll see we have gone to universities and had analyzed the glacial milk from, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 different glaciers. And some of them have only 8 or 10 minerals. Some of them have 80 minerals. Which one is the healthiest? Well, the one with 80 minerals. Okay, and you can have glacial milk from one place, it's not giving you what you need. You have glacial milk from another place because of the composition of the mountain, okay, and make the ground up rock dust looks white and makes the creek and the streams look white like milk, and that's where the term milk, okay, the land flowing with milk and honey, okay, it was glacial milk, but they didn't say glacial milk because they didn't make the attachment there. They didn't know the science and stuff like that 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. But we did it, and this book is flying out the door now, okay, because people want this information because it's in the Bible 21 times. It's worth looking at the chemical details and why it was so effective in the old days, why it's effective yet today, and how through the longevity program, you can create this in your own home, okay? Because it's available through our programs, our products, and we're very, very proud of that. I was telling Rebecca the other day when we started longevity, we spent 6 months before we actually sat down and said, okay, this is it. We spent 6 months going around the world in various fashion, and we found the places where people lived a long time, what was going on there, okay? We started thinking about glacial milk at that time, okay? We're looking up from the Bible, okay, glacial milk, where are these places, okay? And it turns out it's because of all the minerals that was in the glacial milk. The glaciers grinding up the rocks, and that rock dust turning the streams white like milk. And so they didn't have the ability to do analyses and tell you, oh, there's 100 minerals in here. There's 75 minerals in here. There's 50 minerals in here. There's 22 minerals in here. Some of them have only 8 minerals. Well, the ones that have 8 minerals, those glacial milks aren't as healthful as the ones that have 100 or 75 minerals. Okay, so that's why we did. And we have 8 locations which we have priority access to, where we get our minerals from. We never have less than 75 in our products, and sometimes we'll have as much as 78 different minerals in there. Okay, and this is what was going on. And this is why these old people in the old Bible live so long. Okay, God is a pretty good farmer. Okay, I'll give God credit for being the top farmer, because God knew what to do to make people healthy. And as long as they stayed on the rails and did everything they were supposed to, they lived a long, healthy life. They got off the rails and did bad things, they died painfully from diseases and war and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to choose God's way. Okay, I'm going that route. But it's not just mythical. It's not just stuff that people make up. This is hard science. And so I have to thank God for being a great scientist and making things available to us in such a way that we can, and that's why we have so many pastors. I mean, we have some of the most famous pastors in the world. Okay, Pastor Creflo Dollar, Pastor Mike Freeman, okay, Pastor Andy Young, okay, Martin Luther King III, and more and more and more pastors from all over the world. Okay. And I'm going to have to make a list of all these pastors.
Well, definitely, Dr. Wallach, those, but yes, they're making an impact because they have a large following. But we as individuals, even if we're not in that position, can make a massive impact in our own lives, our own families, our own communities, which then spread out beyond our communities and around the world.
Yeah, you're talking about your neighbors, your workmates, your church mates, your temple mates, your neighbors, your family. If you give this information to everybody, and of course everybody's going to have the same reference book here, the same story to tell, because it's all going to be in here. This is going to be the new crusade since the crusades of thousands of years ago. Okay, it went 967 years. This crusade should go on forever.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Wallach. And folks, if you would like to be part of this crusade, we welcome you with open arms. We have an amazing community that we consider each other family, our chosen family, that I am just so thankful for and love and appreciate. It doesn't matter where we're at, where we are. It doesn't matter what our political views are. It doesn't matter where we are.
We even have our products in Italy.
Country. Well, Italy, I was in Fiji this morning, Dr. Wallach, who we were talking about a doctor in Kuwait. I mean, we are around the world, and it's not just, moms and dads that are looking into things for their family. It's doctors that are figuring out, you know what? Something's missing. Something's missing from what I was taught in school. And there's got to be something else. That's the way it was for me, Dr. Wallach. I was doing all these things I was, quote unquote, supposed to do, and I was getting sicker and sicker. I knew there was something else. So I am so glad that I found it. And folks, you can as well. So again, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. You are more than welcome to go to our website there, where you will find the replays for our programs that we have had with Dr. Wallach, and also pharmacist Ben Fuchs. We have the good foods, bad foods list that you're going to be hearing Dr. Wallach mention many times in today's program. You can find that on dailywithdoc.com. And also more information about the products in our store. So you go to the store, you click on the product, and there's a nice description of the products there. There's in red supplemental facts. A lot of people ask me, well, what's in it? Click on that red little wording, that phrase, supplement facts or supplemental facts, and you will get more information about exactly what is in there, including the nutritional panel that is on the product. Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and go to questions. And I want to go to this question that we didn't get to yesterday. And Scott was on asking a question on behalf of his wife. So he writes, my Taiwanese wife is 62 years old. She is 5'4" tall. She weighs 135 pounds. She's asymptomatic, but recently diagnosed with stage 4 liver cirrhosis. We find out tomorrow if it's cancer, so I've got to get an update on that. The endoscopy revealed medium-sized esophageal and abdominal varices. Her stage 4 liver cirrhosis was undiagnosed and chronic, most likely caused by a Taiwan hepatitis A outbreak that went unreported. The routine checkup 2 months ago revealed the problem, and wants to know if you have any success working with people with stage 4 liver cirrhosis and what your recommendations would be.
Okay. The liver is a remarkable organ. It has the ability to heal itself. It's amazing how it has the ability to heal itself. It performs more than 50 different functions in the body. Heart does one function, just pumps blood around. Your liver does 50 different functions. So you have to get rid of the bad foods so you're not hurting the liver. No fried foods, no processed meats, no ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, that sort of stuff. No hot dogs. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no bread around oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is ugly, but it's still gluten. No buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has Fago, F-A-G-O, pyrines in it, which are worse than gluten. Okay. And absolutely no sugar, no oils, like cooking oils and salad dressings and stuff like that. None of that, because they oxidize and cause scarring, including in the liver. Frying is very bad for the liver. Oils are very bad for the liver. And then you want to also understand that there's no carbonation safe. Even the diet drinks that are carbonated are dangerous, and even carbonated water is dangerous because carbonation neutralizes your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and absorb see you can't digest food. Okay, you can't digest food or absorb minerals if you're taking in carbonated water or carbonated drinks. Anything with carbonation, no, don't do it. We even have a carbonated form of our Rebound or sports drink in cans, but I pop the tops on those, on 2 of those at night, put them in the refrigerator. So in the morning they're flat, all the bubbly is gone. And I'll drink one with breakfast. I'll have the other one half at lunch. The second half of the second one I'll drink during the afternoon, and so I keep my energy up. And this is not difficult. Now, the liver has an enormous capacity to repair itself because it has so many things hitting it, toxins and everything like that, from the blood supply and food and coming in from the intestine and all this kind of stuff. And so the liver has an enormous capacity to heal itself. So we do want people to have what we call the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. We could have called the Healthy Brain, Heart, and Liver Pack and Kidney Pack and Lung Pack, but it was too much. So we just called it the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay. And she weighs
135.
Yeah, 135 pounds. I'd have her take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I'd have her take 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote the maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, the liver. And also, it's going to provide nutrients, okay, for the bone marrow to make white blood cells, which are your immune system, and it helps protect the liver. Then we also want to take the ultimate enzymes. Take 3 of those with a couple ounces of water, say 10 minutes for each meal. We call it the gallbladder and the liver. Okay. Even if she's had her gallbladder removed, you need the bile to be able to absorb the essential fatty acids to prevent asthma and strokes and blood clots and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And so you need that. Let's see here. I think in our rebounder, as I said, our sports drink is very, very useful when it comes to supporting the liver because it has 100 nutrients in it. A Red Bull only has 1. It only has magnesium. It does have some B vitamins. You never know exactly how many are in there and how much is in there because they're just using the byproducts of fermentation. Okay. What do they call it? Fermentation byproducts?
The fermentation byproducts.
Yeah, that's where they get the B vitamins.
Oh, like brewer's yeast?
What? Brewer's yeast. Yeah, brewer's yeast, that kind of stuff. Okay. And so they're not putting in known amounts of B vitamins. They're putting in brewer's yeast and saying there's B vitamins in there. Okay. But it's primarily sugar. Okay. Sugar. Okay. And so we have 100 nutrients in ours. They have 1. That's magnesium. We have 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids in our Rebound. We actually have a CD set called There's a New Bull in Town. Okay. Because we're competing with Red Bull. And, they're a good company. They're a nice company. They're an honest company. But their product, they have a formula that's different from ours. And so we go for the nutrition as opposed to the calories and the caffeine. All right.
Something else that I'd like to add to that, Dr. Wallach, based on one of our distributors who went from I think it was stage 4 or stage 5, cirrhosis of the liver to no longer having any symptoms of it within 5 months would be our pollen burst liver formula. So that is something that I would add to what Dr. Wallach just recommended, which was what she was taking, but that one additional thing, the pollen burst liver formula, supported that as well. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. I know Scott, he's already responded and told me thank you very much for asking that question. As you know, our loved ones are so near and dear to us. We want to make sure that we're taking care of them, but we cannot forget about ourselves, folks. If you weren't there to take care of them, who would be taking care of them? So make sure that you put yourself right up there on the importance level in that first place, so that you can be your absolute best in caring for others as well. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next question, and that is Anthony. So Anthony has mentioned that he wants to become a certified holistic health coach. So that's absolutely fantastic, Anthony. And I love the fact that it's progress over perfection. We do not have to be at our optimal best living, without any type of ailments before we can start helping people, Dr. Wallach.
That's
As
true.
we're working on ourselves, we're learning what we can do to help others. So Anthony, go ahead. And I know you wrote your questions in the chat. So let's get a little more specific on how we can help you, Anthony.
Yeah, hi. It's me again. Yeah, I wrote. Now the doctor said I have chronic anxiety because I keep on having like chest pains, shortness of breath, and sometimes even numbness. But everything in the heart is good.
Okay, I missed that first thing. I was hearing you said pain, and then you said shortness of breath, but there was something else you said there. You have what?
Numbness. I have even one day I had all 6 symptoms of a heart attack, like numbness in my left arm, left leg, shortness of breath, all at the same time, chest pain, jaw pain. Actually, I remember that was like one day, and then after that daily is still like chest pains.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have any ringing in your ears, any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
It only happened one night.
Okay. Do you ever have anything going on like tinnitus? Also, do you have anything going on like dizziness? Anything dizzy or balance problems?
That has happened. They say it's anxiety. That's why I'm too.
Okay. And do you have any high blood pressure?
No.
Okay. Do you have any diabetes?
No.
Okay. Do you have any tingling or numbness down in your toes?
Rarely that has happened. Some few days, and I'm literally ignoring basically everything because they say.
Okay, stop. Do you wake up how many times you wake up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
0.
0. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, the possibility is.
I do.
One other question I have here. Have you had a voice change? Do you have trouble swallowing? Do you have any pain in your throat?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
I do
Dr.
have
Wallach?
sleep. Yeah. I do have insomnia because of anxiety.
Sleep apnea, and Dr. Wallach, he has anxiety, which is one of his major concerns as well.
Okay, anxiety and sleep issue.
And by the way, actually my sleep study just came last week, and he says I have mild sleep apnea.
Okay, so how much you weigh, sir?
128.
128?
Yeah.
228 or 128?
128.
128, okay. And let's see here. How tall are you?
5'9".
5'9", okay. So you're slim.
Yeah.
Have you lost weight, or have you been that weight for a long time?
My whole life I've been 125. Only recently now I've been consistent with 3 pounds more because I'm really taking serious like my health and my diet.
Okay. Well, here's what you need to do. What do you eat for breakfast every morning?
Yeah, now have it jotted down. Like I'm buying from Sprouts Farmers Market, the least processed place I found. And for breakfast, I eat these brown rice cakes that only have like organic brown rice and sea salt in it as ingredients. And then I put nuts, like from Sprouts Farmers Market.
Okay, so you've already given up gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, correct?
Fluent, yeah.
Okay, good. Then
Yeah.
128 pounds, with all of you stuff going on here, big fellow like yourself, I want you to take 2 healthy brain. I only weigh 142, and I take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. Okay. Then I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our MSMs. So you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. They're going to help you rebuild your cartilage, your ligaments, your tendons, your connective tissue, including your immune system and your bone marrow. Okay. Then I want you to get our collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that with your morning drink. Take a scoop of that with your evening drink. And that's going to, again, help you rebuild your cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue, including the walls of your arteries and your heart valves, which are just made out of like plaques of connective tissue, the same stuff that's in your hips and your vertebrae and so forth. Okay. So that's very, very important. I also want you to have the synaptive. So your brain and spinal cord cells can talk to each other. Take 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. Then I also want you to have our, let's see here, our I-26. Take 3 servings a day of that. I do that. I like the chewables. It tastes like vanilla ice cream, and they're soft chewables. So I take 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner time. Every once in a while I get in a hurry and I'll take them all at one time. And then for sleep, we have a product called Sleepies. You can take 2 or 3 of those before, half hour before bedtime. It'll help you sleep. And let's see here. Did I miss anything here, Becca?
Oh,
No, I think you got it, Dr. Wallach. Or de-stress to help with anxiety.
Okay.
Recommend
It's on the
that.
de-stress, but the de-stress is good, but don't forget the I-26. That'll help you rebuild the white matter of the brain. The white matter of the brain is the insulation material of all your brain cells and your spinal cord cells going out into the body and everything. And so whether you have Alzheimer's disease or MS or anxiety or depression, or FTD, okay, those things are all due to demyelinization. The white matter is going away. So you need that I-26 bad. Okay. Give us a call every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great, great story.
one question, if I could mention, I have done that before, the 3 synaptic pills twice a day, and that mainly I've pinpointed it doesn't let me go to sleep when I take 3. When I take 2 a day, I'm fine.
Okay, we'll take 2 a day.
Okay.
You know, if it's keeping you up all night.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but the taking like 6 synaptic pills in a day doesn't let me go to sleep.
Well, your brain is saying, Yahoo! Okay, keep
All
in
right.
touch. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you, Anthony. All right, let's go right over to Sherry, who has a question on behalf of one of her clients. Sherry, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you very much. I have a 62-year-old female. She weighs 155. She's currently taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, Microbiome Gut Product, Majestic Mineral Sticks. She has psoriasis really bad on the top of her legs, her stomach, and her buttocks. Since taking the product, the itching is better, but she still has the psoriasis. Any suggestions on what she can add?
Yes, well, she needs to add to her program, the collagen peptides, okay? A scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop with her evening drink, and then she needs 2 bottles a month of our hair, skin, and nails. She needs a hair, skin, and nails. She can take 3 of those twice a day or three times a day, and it will rebuild the skin. But she's also got to stay away from all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat. You know the drill. Get rid of all the bad stuff. And that's going to maximize the absorption of these things. But the hair, skin, and nails, the collagen peptides. Remember, skin, the 2/3 of the thickness of the skin is connective tissue, the same stuff that's in your disc between your vertebrae and cartilage in your knees and your hips and stuff like that. Your skin is made out of this stuff, just like your heart valves are made out of the same stuff. Okay. So just do that addition, and let's see here. We can't help this gal out. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
God bless.
All right, thank you, Sherry, very much. And Dr. Wallach, before we go, as we're cutting it real close, out on YouTube, we'd like somebody that'd like your input on lectins. So there's a doctor online that says that vegetables are causing leaky gut from the lectins in the vegetables. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, leaky gut is caused by gluten and buckwheat. Okay, and then they need also the ultimate enzymes called the gallbladder and the liver. Okay, and and so it's one of those things where it needs to take those, say, like 5 or 10 minutes for each meal, with a couple ounces of water, and is she getting enough of the nutrients for blood sugar? Does she have low blood sugar so that she gets tired an hour after she eats meals? Does she have high blood pressure? Does she have ringing in her ears? Does she wake up 10 times a night to urinate? We need a lot of information here to be able to give her a lot of.
Well, this was specifically on gluten or lectins, Dr. Wallach, and saying that things like tomatoes and eggplants were bad and the cause of leaky gut, which what you just said, it's not the tomatoes and the eggplant, it's the grains, the gluten, the wheat, barley, rye, oats, and
the
phagopyrines from buckwheat that are causing those intestinal issues.
That's correct.
So I think he's on the wrong track, Dr. Wallach. Yes, nutrition is very important, but I think that he's going the wrong direction when it comes to leaky.
You need both. You need both. It's kind of like if a policeman would say, well, the reason why these guys are bank robbers is because they wear tight blue jeans. There's no connection. But
no connection at all.
Okay.
No, none at all. Well, that is a great spot to say thank you, Dr. Wallach, for your time once again and being here with us on Daily with Doc. I know on behalf of myself, my co-hosts, we appreciate you.
Okay, well, thank you. One more thing. I'm going to be on George Noorey tonight on Coast to Coast at 10 p.m. Pacific time, okay, till midnight Pacific time. So if you're awake and you're in that kind of area where you can listen to that, get on Coast to Coast. I'm going to be there with George, and he is probably one of the greatest communicators on earth, and I'm just so honored to be with him.
Well, and I want to help people find that. So if you have iHeart, you can go in and search for Coast to Coast and find a radio station anywhere in the world. It doesn't even have to be in your own city, and be able to tune into Coast to Coast with George Noorey. And tonight, this is June 6th, which I want to say happy birthday, Coach Rod, on with Dr. Wallach. So Dr. Wallach, I know you're super excited about everything that's going on. It's like re-energizing for you. And I'm doing my best to make it happen as quickly as possible. So
well, you get an A+. You get an A+.
Yes, an A+, and no, I'm not going to use anything to color the gray in my hair. I love you, Dr. Wallach. We will see you tomorrow on Daily with Doc. God bless. And folks, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself. Invest in information that will help you at the cellular level, because we are continually recreating cells. That's just the way we were created. I mean, can you imagine going from an egg and sperm and then multiply and multiply and multiply, and then over the years have a full adult human body? And then for myself, go from having this full adult human body that felt like death warmed over and even looked at, to now looking more vibrant and feeling more healthy than I've ever felt in my whole entire life. We welcome you and we invite you to share the experience with us. Find it for yourself. I just want to say thank you to my co-hosts, and you can come online on screen with us if you like. We have Marilyn Pizzera, which, folks, if you're here live with us, she does a fantastic job putting stuff into the chat, repeating what Dr. Wallach recommends for each individual case, so that if you or someone you know is experiencing some of the same symptoms of what is being shared with and talked about here on the program, you can do a screenshot. HIPAA prevents us from being able to share the chat and allow you to copy and paste it, but you can do a screenshot of that chat and then have that and save it and utilize it. Don't just take a screenshot. It's not going to sit there through osmosis and help you. You have to get it in your body, folks. The body is starving for the 90 essential nutrients. So she's been putting that information in the chat and doing a superb job. Thank you, Marilyn. You are a gift and a blessing. And we've got folks putting in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So also, Sherry Browning, helping make sure everybody gets into the room in a very timely manner, making sure that the cameras are all being monitored so that we're not sharing anything that shouldn't be shared. Just want to thank you, Sherry, for all that you do and for bringing your knowledge as a health coach just in life and incorporating the longevity products into your coaching. So folks, if you're already in a position where you are helping people with their health and you need a solution nutritionally, consider longevity products. There's a lot of options out there, but fractionated nutrition does not give optimal results. That's what I love about longevity, is it's taken that fractionation out. They've made the formulas where they're blended with the synergy that everything works together. And we want to make sure that people hear about it. So not only hear about it, but have a place that they can go and get back with the person that shared the program with them. Or if there's no one to thank, go to dailywithdoc.com. You'll find our replays, you'll find our store, you'll find a way to contact us so that we can get you in touch with a coach. And you'll also find a place to sign up for our newsletter. Until next time, my name is Becca Dukes, and I am honored to be the hostess of this program, Daily with Doc. And I want to say thank you to Jonty. He is our webmaster of our website, who's sitting in for Ruth Ellen, as she is taking a well-needed day off. Ruth Ellen usually does all of my making sure everything's connected, and today Jonty helped with that. So thank you so much, Jonty. And Ruth Ellen, we love and miss you. Bye for now.